everyone, Aaron here for Zollotech, and this is the Mac Studio. This took quite a while to get in as it's a custom order with basically the top configuration. And so I thought we'd just do a quick unboxing, compare it to the Mac Mini that I actually have here in the box from the M1 Mac Mini, just to show you the size difference, and then we'll talk about maybe doing a more in-depth review later on if you want to see that. But let's go ahead and open it up. This is how it comes from Apple in the mail. And there we go. And this box opens up like this. And then the Mac Studio's right here. So let me go ahead and pick this up and move it around. This is pretty heavy too. So we'll move this over here. Now, as you can see right here, it says it's Mac Studio, 20-core CPU, 64-core GPU, 128 gigabytes of RAM, and 8 terabytes of storage. So this is the fully spec'd out version, starts at $4,000, goes to $8,000. So let's go ahead and open it up. So to open it up, we have this little pull tab here. So we'll just pull this here off the top of the box. And there we go, and we set it down, and this has this nice sort of cloth handle like we have on the Mac Pro, and also the Studio display. And just to show you a box size comparison difference, there's quite a big difference between the Mac Mini and the Mac Studio. So this gives you an idea, and it's probably a third the thickness as far as the box goes. So there we go. Inside, as we open it up, you can see here, before I open the rest of this up, we've got some paperwork here. So it says, let's pull this out like that and see what we've got. So it says designed by Apple in California. And then inside we have Mac Studio. And it just goes over what we have on it. We'll go around that in a moment. We have a little warranty card and a giant Apple sticker. So it's the black Apple sticker like you would expect. Let's go ahead and put those away and take a closer look at the Mac Studio itself. Now, you may have seen this already online elsewhere, but as you can see, here's how the box works. So we basically push out on this, and now we can lift the Mac Studio out. So there we go. And wow, is that heavy. So it's a pretty heavy device. So that's the Mac Studio. And then inside, we have our power cable. So this is the power cable. You'll see it's braided. This looks very familiar. It's basically the same sort of braided cable that we get with the Mac Pro, but you've got a smaller connector. So you have a 3-prong connector that goes in the back of the Mac Studio. So we'll set this aside for now, and let's take a closer look at the Mac Studio itself. So here's the Mac Studio. Let's see if we can take the wrapper off it. So we just pull here, it looks like, and that broke off, but that's okay. There we go. So you pull up and it sort of all falls away. So there's the bottom piece. So that's the Mac Studio itself, and that just feels like a giant solid piece of aluminum. And as far as its weight goes, if you have the M1 Max, it's a little bit lighter. If you have the M1 Ultra like this one, because the heatsink is copper, it's 7.9 pounds or 3.6 kilograms. If it was the M1 Max, it's 5.9 pounds or 2.7 kilograms. So 2 pounds heavier than the Max version. This is about 8 pounds. Pretty heavy device. So let's go around the outside edge. So you can see on the top, of course, you have the Apple logo. There's nothing there as far as a lit Apple logo. It's not backlit or anything like that. Now, because this is the Ultra version, the front ports are Thunderbolt. So you've got 2 Thunderbolt 4 ports, and then you also have an SD card slot. So this is always nice. If we take our SD card, it just sits in there like that. So it doesn't click in. There's no mechanism to break. It just slots in just like it does on the MacBook. We also have a little status light here on the front, nothing on the right side, nothing on the left side. And then on the bottom, of course, it says Mac Studio. So you can see Mac Studio there, and then you've got some vents all around it. So you've got some nice vents all the way around, and then, of course, a Kensington lock in the upper left on the back. So that's to secure it to a table. Now, on the back, we have 4 Thunderbolt 4 ports. We have a 10 gig Ethernet port. We also have our power port in the middle, and then we have 2 USB-A, HDMI. This is not the latest HDMI for some reason, but it's HDMI, a high impedance headphone jack, and then our power button. And then of course the top here, this is all venting. So this is all cooling. If you've seen this online yet, or from Apple, they showed this. You've got 2 fans that help vent all of the hot air out of this and keep it cool. So not only do we have a 10 gig Ethernet jack, we also have Wi-Fi built in, 802.11 ABGN AC, and then also AX Wi-Fi 6 compatibility. We also have Bluetooth 5.0, so all of that's built in. You pretty much have everything you need here. Whether you're tethering that to Ethernet or maybe to a bunch of other Macs as well, you can do that with this. Now I wanted to show you a quick size comparison with the M1 Mac Mini. So as far as its squared dimensions and the rounded corners, it's basically the exact same size. So where it's different is its depth. So from top down, it looks the same. The Apple logo on the Studio is a little bit bigger, but that's it. So that looks to be a little bit bigger, not much of a difference there. Of course, if we rotate this to the back so you can see all the ports and differences, if we turn it around here, you can see the difference. So it's about 3 Mac Minis deep. So this is a big piece of aluminum, and it's a Studio, but it's much bigger than I would have thought. And as far as its overall design, I'm not sure I like it. It's basically something that you're going to set to the side. It's not a Mac Pro that you sort of want to showcase, but it's definitely a functional device. So I'll have to use it for a while though to determine what I think about it. But again, from the side, let me just rotate this here. And this is quite heavy. It's much heavier than I would have thought. So that gives you an idea what they look like, again, as I rotate them around. From the bottom, there's the Mac Mini, there's the Mac Studio. And so that's the differences as far as the way they look. The Mac Mini is definitely a lot lighter though. Now, I didn't want to do a bunch of setups and tests and everything else, as you've probably seen that elsewhere online, and I've set up other Macs in different videos as well. But if there's something specific you'd like to know about it, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Initial benchmarks show this is incredibly fast, but that doesn't really explain what it's like to use day to day. A number from maybe Geekbench or something else doesn't really show a whole lot when it comes to maybe trying a game, or maybe you're rendering something, or maybe you're running some scientific project and you need it to maybe complete over a period of time. All sorts of different applications can be used with this, and if there's something you haven't seen elsewhere, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Of course, you can see the initial Geekbench scores are incredibly high on the M1 Ultra. This is basically the fastest Mac that Apple sells right now, much faster than the Mac Pro that I've used, and it should stay nice and cool as well. But again, if there's something specific you'd like to see, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. So I didn't want to do a full setup, just wanted to do a quick unboxing as many wanted to see it, so let me know in the comments below if you'd like to see anything else, or if this was just enough. I'd love to hear from you there. Of course, I'll link a wallpaper like I normally do in all my videos in the description below, and if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe, and if you enjoyed the video, please give it a like. As always, thanks for watching. This is Aaron. I'll see you next time.